Arizona Christian University found that 8 to 12-year-olds are on track to abandon biblical Christianity. Only 21% believe turning to the Bible is the best way to determine right from wrong. Well, here to explain more of the findings is Cultural Research Center Director, he's Director of Research, George Barna. George, this appears to be a troubling trend. What else did you discover in your research?
Well, as we looked at all this, really what we're trying to understand is how are children doing in terms of developing the foundations for a biblical worldview. We talk about 7 particular beliefs called the 7 cornerstones of a biblical worldview. There are 5 in particular here where children really are in jeopardy when we look at what they believe about the Bible, what they believe about absolute truth, about the means to eternal salvation, about how to define and pursue success and the purpose of life. In all of those areas, they're not doing well. And when we compare them to teenagers and young adults, in other words, if we backtrack in terms of age groups, we find that today's young children are doing worse than their predecessors. And we already know that their predecessors do not have a biblical worldview. So we're looking at a young group of people that is not moving toward thinking like Jesus, which is important because that's the only way that eventually you're going to be able to act like Jesus, because you do what you believe.
Well, what's the cause then, George, of this biblical abandonment for preteens?
Well, there's no single cause that we can point to, but there are a number of things that certainly contribute to that. One of those would be the enduring and negative impact of media messages upon children. The media continue to be the most impactful source of worldview development in our country. Secondly, we can look at the fact that only 4% of parents have a biblical worldview. They don't perceive themselves as being the ones who are responsible for developing the worldview of their children. Thirdly, we can look at the fact that most Christian churches these days neither prioritize children in ministry nor focus on worldview development,